When it comes to public events or professional photo opportunities, it's hard to expect children to behave the entire time. Sitting still for a long time or trying not to make a face in pictures is hard when you're little. When it comes to the children of the royal family, this still rings true. Kids will be kids, and sometimes they just can't help but breaking a few rules. Don't worry, the royal family is keeping these little ones in line. But if you were curious, we're going to break down 12 times the royal kids were caught breaking rules. Princess Charlotte at the royal wedding. If you remember the royal wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle in 2018, you probably remember the elegance and grace of it all. What you may not have noticed is some of the royal children being a little naughty. In royal weddings, the bridesmaids and groomsmen are made up of children connected to the royal family. It's a lot to expect from so many young kids to behave and perform ceremonial duties. Princess Charlotte, the 3-year-old daughter to Kate Middleton and Prince William, was relatively well behaved for most of the ceremony. However, just as they were arriving in the car for the event, Charlotte decided to show her silly side. The tiny princess stuck her tongue out to the photographers and crowds. Kids will be kids, right? Young Prince Harry vs. paparazzi. Little Princess Charlotte may have gotten her silly nature from her very own uncle. A paparazzi video resurfaced in 2018 of a very young Prince Harry in the days leading up to his wedding with Meghan Markle. We can see little Harry stick his tongue out at the paparazzi just like little Charlotte did. His mother, Princess Diana, whisked him away from the car window, but not without having a little giggle with her son. The backstory is even funnier, learning that the photographers were teasing and sticking their tongues out at Harry first. What can you expect a kid to do? Just not tease back? Apparently both young and adult Harry have a tendency to get a bit cheeky with photographers. We found several different moments where Harry was caught sticking his tongue out and not taking life too seriously. Prince George gets scolded. Weddings often bring out a lot of happy tears in the guests and the bride and groom, but sometimes you may see some tears from getting into a little bit of trouble. Little Prince George, son of Kate Middleton and Prince William, found himself getting scolded at the wedding of Pippa Middleton and James Matthews in May of 2017. Prince George, who served as a page boy for his aunt, appeared to cry after the ceremony at St. Mark's Church in Englefield. His mom, Kate, was determined to not let anything ruin her sister's big day and reprimanded her son for getting a little too rowdy. Prince George had wandered off behind Pippa Middleton, possibly ruining some wedding photos. He also began to play with Pippa's dress as she made her big exit from the ceremony. At the time, little George was only 3 years old and seemed rather embarrassed after getting put in his place. But how can you stay mad at this adorable face? George behaved for the rest of the day for sure. Prince George makes a run for it. Oh, little Prince George, will you ever learn? Apparently this tiny prince's incident at Pippa Middleton's wedding wasn't the only time he got himself into some trouble. Back in June of 2016, Prince George, his parents, and then 1-year-old little sister Charlotte made a public appearance. At the 90th birthday celebration for his grandmother, the Queen, George was simply trying to get a better look at the festivities. He attempted to climb the balcony railing, but thankfully Dad, Prince William, snatched him up before he fell. Don't worry, little George is safe from harm, but maybe not from a talking to from his mom. Prince Magnus dabs. We may all be obsessed with the royal family from England, but they aren't the only ones with mischievous kids who occasionally break the rules. We may have found a new favorite royal family to keep our eyes on. Hailing from Norway, Prince Sverre Magnus is 11 years old and stole the hearts of the public after acting a little silly at an event. During an official appearance for a family member's 80th birthday, the prince gave us a glimpse into his personality. What is normally a classy and simple photo op turned into the prince's chance to hit the dab for the cameras. Who cares about protocol when it's someone's birthday, right? This prince knows how to not take things too seriously. We hope he didn't get into too much trouble because we all got a laugh out of his slick moves. And hey, it's not the first time a prince has hit the dab. Prince Harry can have fun with this move too. Royal siblings ruin Christmas. Can you believe the royal protocol carries into the holidays too? These kids have to follow some rules even when there's a celebration to be had. Prince George and Princess Charlotte may have not acted so royal on Christmas Day in December 2018. However, we have a hard time staying mad at them because it's just so cute. How can you tell kids to wait and not open Christmas presents? Traditionally, the royal family opens gifts on Christmas Eve. In fact, it's against royal protocol to open any gifts on Christmas Day at all. But But since the family went to a few Christmas church services, the timeline got a little muddled. The little ones just couldn't stand waiting any longer since they missed opening gifts on Christmas Eve. Christmas morning came and George and Charlotte tore into their gifts like any normal kid. Santa only comes once a year. Can you blame them? Charlotte has a meltdown. In July of 2017, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and their two little ones, George and Charlotte, visited Poland and Germany. During the 4-day tour, the kids seemed to thoroughly enjoy themselves. Maybe they were actually having so much fun that they didn't want to leave. When the family got to see the Airbus training facilities, George was loving seeing the inside of a helicopter. Charlotte seemed like she wasn't really feeling it. Perhaps she knew that it was almost time to leave and just didn't want to. She showed her true feelings in classic 2-year-old fashion with a tantrum. Jumping up and down and throwing a fuss isn't very royal, Charlotte. Quickly, her mom, Kate Middleton, knew what to do to calm her down, and they left peacefully. George fusses at a christening. Speaking of tantrums, let's go back to 2015 when Prince George was just 2 years old. And as we mentioned, 2-year-olds sometimes throw tantrums because life is just that hard sometimes. When it came time for his little sister Charlotte to have her christening, George was not having it. He refused to enter the church for the event and started having a full-blown meltdown. Suddenly, George decided he just didn't want all the pomp and circumstance of the day. Dad stepped in to try and have a chat away from the church, but to no avail. Then they sent in the big guns. This time, the Queen herself got involved. Maybe he just needed some extra attention from his grandmother, or maybe the Queen has a few tricks up her sleeve. Either way, she soothed him enough to get on with the ceremony. Toddlers are rough, even for the royal family. Prince George's robe meeting. One crazy rule that the royal family and their children is required to follow is no casual outfits. You wouldn't consider someone royalty if they're wearing sweatpants, would you? Well, when it came time for Prince George to meet President Obama in 2016, he broke that rule in the most adorable way. We think this broken rule deserves attention, even if it isn't the craziest moment. How did George break this rule? He wore his pajamas and a bathrobe to his meeting. Prince George was allowed to stay up late to meet President Obama and kept his wardrobe extremely casual. The president later cracked a joke about meeting the prince in his pajamas, saying, "Last week Prince George showed up to our meeting in his bathrobe. That was a slap in the face, a clear breach of protocol." Young Prince William was a naughty page boy. Sometimes a little rebellious streak just runs in the family. While our list has been full of current royal children having tantrums or ruining photo ops in public, we have to mention their parents too. Apparently, young Prince William wasn't so well behaved all the time. At the wedding of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson in 1986, Prince William was a page boy in the wedding. He was dressed in the cutest sailor outfit for the event. However, William may have not felt so cute. Throughout the wedding, the 4-year-old made funny faces at the bridesmaids, poked his tongue out, and turned his little straw hat into a pair of binoculars. During the service itself, he rolled his program of service into a trumpet. Royals, they're just like us. Thankfully, William grew out of his mischievous days and is now a true leader and gentleman. But maybe there is a little karma for his silly antics in the fact that sometimes his own children act up. Grumpy Princess ruins wedding photo. Not everyone loves weddings, even some of the most precious royal kids. At the wedding of Kate Middleton and Prince William, there was an opportunity to get a magical wedding photo of the bride and groom kissing on the balcony. This is a pretty traditional photo taken at lots of royal weddings, but one small princess just wasn't having it. The then 3-year-old Grace Van Kootsum can be seen covering her ears and pouting as the bride and groom share their first public smooch in front of thousands of supporters. What's the matter, Grace? No one ever quite found out what was bothering this princess during an otherwise perfect day. The photo of this princess being just too honest with her face quickly went viral. This moment was so iconic that at the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, people were wondering if Grace would make another cranky appearance. Now, 10 years old, she may have learned to like weddings a little more since Prince William and Kate Middleton's. No hat for a princess. Prince George might have a rival in the cute junior royal stakes. He's not the only one who gets to have adorable tantrums, right? The daughter of Peter and Autumn Phillips and granddaughter of Princess Anne, Savannah Phillips. George's third cousin was with her family supporting Prince Harry and William at the Sandringham football match. The Queen's granddaughter was so fond of her adorable pink outfit for the occasion that she didn't want anyone changing it. But you can't be out in the chilly weather without a hat, Savannah. As Mom tried to continually put her hat, complete with fuzzy bunny ears back on Savannah, she kept ripping it off. She may have also thrown it on the ground with righteous anger a few times too. Maybe this little one, 13th in line for the throne, didn't think it matched her pink ensemble. Or maybe this royal kid was just being a kid. That's 12 times the royal kids acted not so royal. Do you think royal children should be expected to behave? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for stopping by the taco, and thanks for watching.